Hey guys, it's Meg back for another BJD Addicts prompt. This is number 8. BJD Stereotypes. Now I've been in the hobby since 2014. It's not as long as some others. Actually, it's not as long as many. But I kind of feel like I've seen some stuff. I mean, I've been around. But a lot of the stereotypes that I see are kind of, I don't notice the typical ones. Like if a lot of people have same-sex pairings, I don't really notice that. It's the world. Like they're just channeling their likes or themselves or their world around them into their dolls. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't tend to notice that, but I also don't notice that in the real world because I'm not looking for that. People are people. I don't need to know what they're doing. And if I see them out on the street, they're just people. What I do notice are some of the stereotypes that kind of more stigmas than stereotypes, I think. People judging other people for what and how they collect. And I kind of don't like that. So this is more about BJD stigmas than stereotypes. I guess they can kind of be synonymous, but not really. The first stigma I see is that it's around cheap dolls. Resin Soul, doll leaves, sometimes even Miyu doll. I know a lot of people got a lot of, I don't want to say shit, but, when I first joined the hobby, because Miro doll was still around, and it was still really popular to buy cheap bodies from Miro doll. And I guess they're still kind of around. There was some drama some years back because they did some no-nos, and well, if you've been around long enough, you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to repeat it. But so I don't really like that. I mean, the quality, I've had a Resin Soul, I've had a Miyu doll, I have doll leaves, I've had them in the past, and I've also had Fairyland. I have Dolphies, I have an Argonautica doll. These are expensive dolls. I actually kind of feel like the Minifee and the Unoa that I had pose worse than my doll leaves. I mean, Tamsin's not even completely suede. I sueded her ankles so she didn't fall forward. My Argonautica doll, I sueded when I got her just because it was a habit, not because she needed it. But my Resin Soul wasn't even sueded or wired. Neither is Tamsin, really. So I feel like the stigma around cheap dolls, that they're beginner, entry level, maybe only because of price. If you don't want to spend a lot of money on the doll, yes, doll leaves, Resin Soul. But I don't really think any particular style of doll is a beginner doll. Any doll is a beginner doll. You can get a Tiny Fox, you can get a Nobitsu, you can get a A-Zone. Any doll you begin with is a beginner doll. So that's a stereotype I don't particularly care for. We need to stop associating beginner with cheap, because just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's good quality. It's bad quality. And just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's great quality either. Another stigma I've been seeing a lot of, especially in the last couple years, is people who buy dolls and then sell them. What do you care what other people are doing? I mean, if you're attached to the doll that they bought and sold, buy it from them. But try not to get attached to people's characters, because people change, their characters change. My character, Tamsin, does not look the same as she did when I first thought her up, because she was a character I used to draw when I was 16. So I think a lot of people put too much weight on somebody buying and selling. If that's how they hobby, that's how they hobby. It's not our business. I am seeing a lot of stuff in the last couple weeks about the type, whether it's resin or vinyl. There seems to be a divide and a lot of stigma that if you are a vinyl collector, you shouldn't be a resin collector. Or if you're a resin collector, you shouldn't like dip your toes into vinyl. And those of us who are both are like heathens. I haven't been seeing it everywhere, but every once in a while on Instagram or on Tumblr or something, I'll come across a comment and it's like, you kind of just want to reach through the screen and slap somebody. Just let people collect how they want to collect and what they want to collect. That's my philosophy. I like vinyl and I like resin. I like cheap and I like expensive. Doesn't really matter. That's my hot take. I'm done for now. Thanks for coming, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.